Five-time champion Roger Federer and world number one Rafael Nadal would seem to be the top two favorites to win this year's U.S. Open. Nadal has won each of the other Grand Slam events, but has yet to claim victory at Flushing Meadows. Rafa lost in the U.S. Open semis each of the last 2 years. The Spaniard cut back his schedule this year as he eyes a title in New York.
This year he comes to Flushing Meadows ranked number one, seeded number one. He's on a 14-match winning streak at Grand Slam tournaments. Every year he seems to slow down a bit when it comes to the U.S. Open. His aggressive, hard-pounding style of play leaves a lot of wear and tear on the body by the time September rolls around. Trying to avoid that sort of slip-up this year, he curtailed his schedule a little bit. He skipped Davis Cup play for Spain, something that means a lot to him. He really wants to complete that Grand Slam and get a first title at the U.S. Open.
The longtime world number one, Federer lost to Juan Martín del Potro in a 5-set final in last year's U.S. Open. The second seed in Flushing Meadows, Federer began the season by winning the first Grand Slam event of the year, but then he stumbled in the next two slams.
Federer won the Australian Open in January for his record 16th Grand Slam title, but then he took a step back at the French Open in Wimbledon. He lost in the quarterfinals of both of those major tournaments, ending his streak of 23 consecutive semifinal appearances or better at Grand Slam tournaments. He's certainly going to want to try to start another in New York, and it's hard to pick against him given his success there in the past.
Other contenders to win the Open include third seed Novak Djokovic, a U.S. Open runner-up 3 years ago. Also hoping for the title is fourth seed Andy Murray, who'll be trying to make history.
He reached the U.S. Open final in 2008, where he lost to Federer. He reached the Australian Open final this year, losing again to Federer. Murray is still trying to become the first British man since the 1930s to win any of tennis's 4 Grand Slam tournaments, and a lot of people think he's got a good chance of doing that in New York.
But Del Potro will not be among the favorites at the Open this year. The 6'6" Argentine withdrew from the tournament because he is not ready to compete after having an operation on his right wrist in May. Steve Karmazin, The Associated Press.